हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू लॉ स्टॉमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म। आज की इस वीडियो में हम डील करेंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ इंडेमनिटी से। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। नाउ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ इंडेमनिटी को समझने से पहले लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ इंडेमनिटी। सो इंडेमनिटी इन सिंपल वर्ड्स मीन्स प्रोटेक्शन अगेंस्ट डैमेज और लॉस। तो अगर आप किसी को भी प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हो किसी डैमेज या लॉस से, दैट इन सिंपल वर्ड्स मीन्स इंडेमनिटी। Now, इसका definition under Indian Contract Act is given under section 124. 124 says, a contract by which one party promises to save the other from loss caused to him by the conduct of the promiser himself or by the conduct of any other person is called a contract of indemnity. So, contract of indemnity में एक party promise कर रहा है to save the other, because like we said कि indemnity is nothing but a promise to save against any damage or loss. So one party is promising the other to save him from the conduct of promiser himself, either उसके खुद के conduct से या conduct of any other person. Now let's take an example. इस example में A contracts to indemnify B against the consequence of any proceedings which C may take against B in respect of a certain sum of 200 rupees. ना ये जो एग्जाम्पल है दिस इज़ अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ इंडेमनिटी, बिकॉज अगर हम इसको इस डेफिनेशन के अकॉर्डिंग देखें, सो ए इज़ प्रॉमिसिंग बी कि वो इसको इंडेमनिफाई करेगा अगेंस्ट कंडक्ट ऑफ सी, लाइक वी सेड द कंडक्ट ऑफ द प्रॉमिसर हिमसेल्फ और बाय द कंडक्ट ऑफ एनी अदर पर्सन. सो यहाँ पे ए इज़ प्रॉमिसिंग बी टू इंडेमनिफाई हिम against the consequence of any proceeding which C may take against B in respect of 200 rupees. Alright. Now, in order to understand the contract of indemnity properly, let's see the key elements of contract of indemnity. First of all, in contract of indemnity, there are two parties. The first party being indemnifier, the second is called the indemnity holder or indemnified. The person who gives the indemnity is called the indemnifier, and the person for whose protection it is given is called the indemnity holder. Now, if we look at the definition once again, it says a contract by which one party promises to save the other from the loss caused to him by the conduct of the promiser himself. So, section 124 does not use the word indemnifier or indemnity holder, but instead uses the word promiser. So, promiser here is the indemnifier, and promiser जिसको promise दे रहा है to save the other person, that other person is indemnity holder. और इनके बीच में जो contract है, that contract is called the contract of indemnity, and this contract is to save the other person from the loss caused to him by the conduct of either the indemnifier himself or conduct of some third person. Now, this contract of indemnity can be either express or it may be implied from the circumstances of the case. Now, let's understand the distinction between Indian law and English law when it comes to contract of indemnity. So, English law में indemnity means a promise to save a person harmless from the consequence of an act. So, अगर हम English definition देखें, ये बहुत ज़्यादा wide है in comparison to the definition given under section 124. Because under English definition, indemnity includes a promise of indemnity against loss arising from any cause whatsoever. Example, loss caused by fire or by some other accident also. So, every contract of insurance other than life insurance is a contract of indemnity when it comes to English law. But if you look at the section 124, the definition of indemnity narrower है, because under section 124, indemnity is restricted to cases where there is a promise to indemnify against loss caused either by the promiser himself or by any other person. So, under Indian law, the loss must be caused by some human agency. The definition excludes from its purview cases of loss arising from accidents like fire or perils of sea. And therefore, Indian law में contract of insurance against loss are covered by contingent contract and not contract of indemnity, because it only covers loss which is caused by human agency. Now, section 125 talks about right of indemnity holder when sued. The promisee in a contract of indemnity acting within the scope of his authority is entitled to recover from the promiser. meaning the indemnity holder is entitled to recover from the indemnifier, firstly, all damages which he may be compelled to pay in any suit in respect of any matter to which the promise to indemnify applies. Secondly, all cost which he may be compelled to pay in any such suit, but he will be entitled to recover the cost only if, in bringing or defending the suit, the indemnity holder did not contravene the orders of the promisor and acted as it would have been prudent for him to act in the absence of any contract of indemnity, or if the act was authorized by the indemnifier himself. Thirdly, all sums which he may have paid under the term of any compromise of any such suit, again if the compromise was not contrary to the order of the promisor and was one which it would have been prudent for the promisee to make in the absence of any contract of indemnity, or if this compromise was authorized by the promisor or indemnifier himself. Alright, so under section 125, the indemnity holder will be entitled to recover all damages, all cost and all sums that he may have paid or was compelled to pay. Now the question arises कि जो liability है to indemnify ये कब arise होती है? So firstly, पहले जो maxim था, it was you must be damnified before you can claim to be indemnified. मतलब indemnity was payable only after indemnity holder had suffered actual loss by paying off the claim. Now let's take an example. Suppose A is an indemnifier and B is an indemnity holder, and C, a third party, has brought a suit against B for ₹1,000, and A, the indemnifier, has promised B, the indemnity holder, that he will compensate B for any loss suffered by him in defending the suit against C. But अब इस maxim के according that you must be damnified before you can claim to be indemnified, जो indemnity holder है वो तब तक claim नहीं कर सकता है indemnifier से जब तक उसने खुद इस claim को satisfy नहीं किया हो. तो पहले B को खुद ₹1,000 C को देना होगा, and only after he has suffered this loss he can claim indemnity from A. Now इसमें problematic ये है कि हो सकता है indemnity holder position में ही नहीं हो कि वो खुद पे कर सके C को, and जब तक वो खुद C को पे नहीं करेगा he cannot also claim indemnity from A. So for this reason the Bombay High Court in Gajanan Mureshwar Parelkar versus Mureshwar Madan Mantri held that indemnity might be worth very little if the indemnified could not enforce his indemnity till he had actually paid the loss, and this might under certain circumstances throw an intolerable burden upon the indemnity holder, because he might not be in a position to satisfy the judgment and yet he could not avail himself of his indemnity till he had done so, and therefore the court held that if his liability had become absolute then he was entitled to get the indemnifier to pay off the claim. So the liability has become absolute का मतलब ये contingent रहता है indemnity में, जो liability होती है वो contingent होती है, and once that liability had become absolute मतलब अब indemnity holder को pay करना है, तो उस situation में instead of making the indemnity holder liable हम directly indemnifier को liable कर सकते हैं for paying of the claim. Therefore in the contract of indemnity जो liability होती है indemnifier की that is primary, it is contingent and प्राइमरी. तो जब वो कंटिजेंसी अगर हो जाती है एंड वो एब्सोल्यूट हो जाता है क्लेम, उसके बाद इंडेमनिफायर को हम डायरेक्टली सू कर सकते हैं फॉर क्लेम. सो दिस इज़ ब्रॉट अस टू एन एंड ऑफ द वीडियो. थैंक यू गाइज. इफ़ यू लाइक द वीडियो डू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब. और अगर आपने दूसरी प्लेलिस्ट नहीं देखी है सो डू कंसिडर वॉचिंग दैट. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. बाय बाय.